Hello there everybody, Sobata92 aka Nightmare, and welcome back to Zero Escape, Virtue's Last Reward. In the last episode, we just finished up our business we are now in the director's office after a, quite an interesting, discussion about termites. Okay. So yeah, that's, weird.
All players, please enter your votes.
Yeah, we should probably book it.
If no vote is recorded before the deadline has passed, any non-voting parties will automatically ally.
Aw, crap. I need to get back. Not like there's any point staying here. I spun around and ran out of the room toward the warehouse. Yeah, I'm just gonna say that discussion about termites was one of the weirdest things I think I've seen. Hey, Quark!
Look, Mr. Sigma's back!
Oh my god, I was wondering where you two were.
Took you long enough.
Ugh. Where are the others?
In the AB rooms.
They went in already?
Yep.
Why didn't you two? Have you been waiting for me?
Yeah! Grandpa said there was something he had to tell you before we voted, no matter what.
Nothing that significant. Just wanted to tell you we're going to choose ally this round.
Oh!
That's it.
And you had to tell me that no matter what? Seems kind of pointless. I mean, words are cheap. You can promise whatever you want.
True, but we've got something to back it up. Just hear me out.
Okay, go ahead.
Quark and I both have 8 BP. We're already on the home stretch. So what do we need to get to the magic number? Well, we need you to choose ally. If you do that, it doesn't really matter to us what we pick.
You'd get to 9 whether you got 2 or 3 points.
Exactly. That being the case, we don't have any reason to betray you. And if we both choose ally, we both gain points.
You make a fair point. True, but you must have considered that I'll choose Betray. That would mean you choose Betray to protect yourselves.
But that's why we're telling you we won't choose Betray.
Mm-hmm.
Can I trust you?
Of course.
Alright. Tell me one thing. Let's say we do this in both ally. Everybody gets 2 points. That means you and Quark will have enough to leave, which is great for you. But I'll be stuck with a measly 5. How do I know you aren't going to just open the number 9 door and leave us in the lurch?
I can guarantee it. I can give you my word.
You know what? I want to believe you.
I will not open the number 9 door, even if I have enough points to do so. I swear it. We aren't going to abandon everybody else just so we can escape.
I swear too. I promise.
Man. So all you've got is a promise, huh?
When I make a promise, I keep it. Trust me.
Please!
Okay.
You've gotta trust us!
Alright. Fine. I'll trust you.
2 minutes remain until Ambidex game polling closes.
Well, shit, that was quick. It's only been 4 minutes. Don't bullshit me.
We're counting on you, Sigma.
You gotta choose ally! You promised!
Oh boy. With that, they turned and ran to the AB room second from the right. Well, naturally, I'm going to choose ally. Well, I guess I should get moving. May as well just go with my guts. Even if they have led me astray, and going with my guts has basically done nothing but make me feel terrible throughout this game. That ain't me bitching on the game, I swear. I mean, I love this game to bits, don't get me wrong.
1 minute remains until Ambidex game polling closes.
I had a decision to make. Should I trust Quark and Tenmyoji? Well, I could believe they were telling the truth and still betray them. That would bring my BP to 6. I'd be that much closer to 9. And choosing betray would guarantee that they wouldn't try and escape without the rest of us. Betrayal seemed like the safe bet, but...
Please! You've gotta trust us! You've gotta choose ally! You promised!
And Miyoji, I could betray easily enough. But Quark? The hell was I going to do?
10 seconds remain until Ambidex game polling closes. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Round 3 of the Ambidex game has been completed. Results will be displayed in the warehouse. Thank you for your participation. Ambidex gates now opening.
All right. Let's see how this turned out.
Results from round 3 of the Ambidex game will now be displayed. Please direct your attention to the results screen.
All right. I figured that. Whoa! Love the game to bits. Game to bits make me feel like a total ass.
Points have been assigned or subtracted accordingly.
So let's see what we got here. Well, to be fair, I already knew Dio would pick Betray because he's kind of an asshole. Oh wait, not kind of. He really is. Luna and Clover betraying Kay. You know what? That's a fair assumption. Realistically, I mean, if we're thinking realistically, that's a very fair result, I guess. And Myoji and Quark betraying me, huh? Well, I wonder what their excuse is.
Please check your bracelet to see your updated bracelet points.
Nice to know that 10 Myoji pretty much nobody except Luna. Thanks for letting me know. Hey! What the hell, guys? Why did you betray me?
Quark had nothing to do with this. I made the vote.
Grandpa.
Alright, fine. Why did you break your promise, 10 Myoji?
I only promised you one thing. We wouldn't open the number 9 door, even if we got 9 points.
What? So, you're not going to leave?
Not what I said. Of course we're going to leave.
Wait, what?
Look, see Clover over there?
What? Don't tell me! God damn it, Clover! God damn it, Clover.
Oh no.
Jeez.
That bitch!
Wait. Quark and Tenmyoji have...
The words were barely out of her mouth when 10 Myoji and Quark ran past.
No! God damn it!
Clover, are you really going to leave? Well, yeah. Why else would I open the door?
But why?
I'm going to go call the others, so we can capture Zero Senior.
Tenmyoji, are you and Quark going too?
Yeah. Sorry about that.
Shut up.
Sorry, everybody.
I'm not blaming you, Quark. I'm not.
So Sigma, happy? I kept my promise. Clover opened the door, not me.
Like hell, I'm happy. That's some shady shit, Tenmyoji.
If you say so. I have to get out of here, and that's that. He's got to pay for what he's done.
He's got to pay for what he's done.
He? Zero.
You mean you know who Zero Senior is?
Yeah. No point keeping it a secret now, I suppose.
Oh?
I know exactly who Zero Senior is.
What?
What? Tell me!
The number 9 door has been opened.
Don't drop something like that on me all of a sudden!
It will remain open for 9 seconds.
Let's go. Come on, guys. Time to move.
Right.
Oh, wait! This is for you, Mr. Sigma.
Hmm? Quark held something out. I looked down to see 2 pieces of folded paper. What is this?
It's a letter. I wrote it in the director's office before the AB game. I wanted to tell you what kind of guy Grandpa is. So, read it, okay?
Okay. He pressed it into my hand.
See you later, Mr. Sigma.
Then he turned and ran toward the door, Tenmyoji and Clover following in his footsteps. I was so surprised by the letter that I didn't even try to stop them. Before I could think of anything to say,
See you.
Goodbye.
I'm more pissed at Clover than I am Tenmyoji and Quark, honestly. Then again, I can't really be mad at Quark. But I wonder, what does that paper have to do with anything?
The number 9 door has closed.
Oh shit.
This ends the nonary game.
Shocker.
Thank you for your participation. As the game is over, all doors other than the number 9 door have been unlocked. Escape is not possible. Please enjoy your stay.
Okay.
Shit! They're gone.
All we can do now is hope they bring help back.
Indeed.
I agree.
I looked down at Quark's letter and slowly unfolded it. His handwriting was still slightly uneven, but he'd filled both pages with writing. I began to read. Whoa. It was a really stormy day when he found me. He said the rain was coming down so hard it almost hurt, but somehow he managed to hear a baby crying. I guess I must have been crying pretty loud. He took me home and did his best to raise me, but he'd never been married or had a kid before, so I think it was really hard for him. He couldn't figure out how to mix the formula, so he was always carrying the directions around with him. Also, I guess I was a pretty picky eater, so if he didn't get the water to formula ratio just right, I wouldn't eat it. I guess I was kind of a pain, huh? But he didn't give up. Now here I am. When he found me, I was really, really small, and he was worried that I might not make it. That's why he named me Quark. A quark is a really, really small thing, and I was a really, really small too. Grandpa didn't need to worry though, because it turned out that I was pretty tough. When I was 1, he forgot I was sleeping in the bed of his truck and drove off. I rolled out and went off the back, but I didn't even get scratched. Whoa! I started walking when I was 2, and when he wasn't looking, I fell down the stairs. I didn't get hurt then either. What? When I was 3, I got really sick. I had a super high fever for a week, but eventually I got better. I guess you could say I'm pretty lucky. You fell out of the bed of a truck and you fell down the stairs and you didn't get hurt? You are one sturdy boy. Oh. Anyway, I didn't really have any more accidents after that. I was a pretty healthy kid. By the time I was 6, I started helping Grandpa out with his work. His job was to gather junk from abandoned buildings, and then he'd fix it up or pull out the useful parts and sell them. There are plenty of abandoned buildings, but finding good stuff in them was hard. You had to know which parts were useful, or it could end up wasting a bunch of time. Every time I'd find something, he'd explain to me what it was, how it was supposed to work, how to fix it, all sorts of things. Usually, though, I just wanted to finish up work so I could go to the theater. The theater came to our town once a week in a wagon. They show old news or movies. I went every single week, but Grandpa only went once in a while, and he'd only go weeks when they showed movies. Oh yeah, I didn't know that I'd been adopted until I was 7. One of the other kids on my block told me. Guess after Grandpa found me, he looked all over town to try and find somebody who'd take me. The kid from my block actually had a mom, and he'd asked her if she would take me too. I gotta admit, I was pretty shocked when I heard that. There weren't a lot of kids with parents around, so hearing that someone lived with his actual mom was pretty impressive. I was also kind of surprised that Grandpa had tried to get someone else to take me. Did that mean he didn't want me? The kid who told me about Grandpa trying to get rid of me was a real jerk. He was totally spoiled, and he'd brag to everybody about how he had a mom. He liked to come up to me while I was working and say stuff like, "Must be hard not having a mother." It never bothered me before, but after I found out that Grandpa had adopted me, I started to think that maybe he didn't really want me. If I could work on my own, then he could get rid of me. I was scared to know the truth, so I never asked him. Then one day he took me to a bar in our neighborhood. During the day, of course. We went there sometimes to drink scotch, but I'd never gone before. When we got in, he just walked up to the counter with that grumpy look he has, and I thought, oh no, he's gonna make me work here. But I was wrong. I saw him pass something to the bartender, and then he picked me up and set me down on a stool next to the counter. The stool was pretty high, especially for a 7-year-old kid, and my legs just dangled off of it. It seemed really, really high to me, and I was pretty nervous. Eventually the bartender came back over with the glass of scotch and another big glass full of something else. As I looked closer, I realized that the second glass was full of some sort of brown liquid with a scoop of ice cream in it. Oh, he got a root beer float? It took me a minute to realize what it was. A root beer float! I'd never seen one before. I was so surprised. Root beer was even more expensive than the nicest alcohol in the bar. To me and the other kids, it seemed more like an urban legend than a real drink. But there it was, right in front of me. I stared at the float. I still wasn't sure if it was real at that point, and then turned to look at Grandpa. He looked back at me. I didn't know what to do, so I turned to the bartender. He'd already turned around and moved off though, so I figured he must have put the glass down in front of me on purpose. It still didn't seem like it could be real, and I was just staring at it when Grandpa told me to hurry it up and drink it before the ice cream melted. His gruff voice sounded like an angel's. Is this really mine? He nodded. Words can't describe how awesome it was. I'd never tasted anything like root beer before. The creamy sweetness of the ice cream made my entire head feel light. I felt like the luckiest boy in the whole world. It's not an exaggeration. I really thought that. The root beer float was delicious, but what made me even happier was Grandpa. When I looked over at him, he was smiling. I know that's gotta be hard for you to imagine, but he really was. Right then, I didn't care whether he just found me or adopted me or not. He'd bought me a root beer float. That made me way luckier than some kid who had a mother but had never tasted root beer. Of course, after we left the bar, he was the first kid I bragged to. So Grandpa and I were doing pretty good. Until the fight. I was in a super bad mood that day. I'd torn one of my shoes that morning, and some old drunk guy had yelled at me. All the junk I found was totally useless. The day was almost over, and I was fed up, so I just grabbed some random trash and took it back to the house. When I showed what I'd found to Grandpa, he frowned. He started going through each thing I'd brought back, explaining why they were all useless. I got really mad and just yelled, "I don't care!" Then he got mad, and I couldn't take it anymore. So I ran away. I was pretty upset. And I started thinking that maybe Grandpa had only adopted me so he could raise me to work and make money for him. After a while, I went and hid in an abandoned building. But by then, I'd started to calm down and think that maybe I should go back and apologize. It had started raining pretty hard though, so I decided I should wait for it to stop. But that was just an excuse. Truth was that I was nervous. Part of me knew I'd done something wrong, but I didn't want to admit it. The rain didn't stop though, so I just sat there staring out at the gloomy gray sky. I imagined Grandpa coming to get me. It kept raining all night and he never showed up. I gave up waiting and decided that it was time to go home. I was about halfway there when I heard somebody groaning. At first, I thought I should just ignore it and not get involved, but I went over anyway and it was Grandpa. He was totally soaked and I could tell right away that he'd been there for a really long time. I yelled and he opened his eyes a little bit. He smiled weakly and said he was glad I was safe. He'd spent all night out in the rain looking for me. I felt awful. Grandpa had been out in the rain looking for me so long that he'd collapsed. It was horrible. He'd heard me crying in the rain, but I hadn't heard him. As I ran to get to the doctor, I promised whatever god might be listening that if they would only save Grandpa, I'd never ask for another root beer float ever again. Got a really bad fever, and his temperature wouldn't go down for days. The doctor said that if it kept up, he'd die. If he died, then I'd be all alone. There wouldn't be anybody left to care about me. The thought of that happening had terrified me. Fortunately, I must have passed some of my luck on to Grandpa, because a week later, his fever finally broke. I was glad he wasn't going to die, but I was also a little scared. What if he had decided he didn't want a stupid kid like me around anymore? My plan was to apologize as soon as he woke up, but when the moment came, my brain just stopped. Grandpa started to talk, and it took me a minute to realize he was apologizing. I didn't know what to think. He explained that he was an old man. That meant he was probably going to die sooner rather than later. He was strict with me because he wanted to make sure I'd be able to make it on my own after he was gone, but maybe he'd been a little too strict. All the things I'd worried about had been stupid and selfish. Grandpa cared about me a whole lot. He'd been worried when I ran off. He'd gone out in the rain to look for me. I tried to apologize, but when I opened my mouth, I just started crying. I don't think I've cried that much since I was a baby. He just smiled and patted my head. I asked him if he'd ever regretted adopting me. His eyes got all wide and he said, "Of course not." He told me that he was looking for a really important lady, and because of that, he'd had to give up on pretty much everything else in his life. But when he took me in and started raising me, he felt like he'd gotten some of what he had lost back. That was when I decided I'd stay with him forever. Even if he said I couldn't. Yeah. Anybody else kind of tear up a little bit? Because I know I did. Wait, is that where it ended? Oh! Tenmyoji. Achievement unlocked in Root Beer Veritas. Veritas. Ugh. Wow. That was heavy stuff right there. Wait. How's this over here? Oh. The one place I got stuck at. Wait. I also got stuck here with the damn bombs, too. Shit! Okay. Okay. What I'm gonna do now is we're gonna move over here. Dad, where did Alice go? I thought about going back and just kind of betraying, but after that, no. No. Let's just move over here and continue this. Damn. That seems like it would be something like a work ending, doesn't it? No one here, huh? Damn! Where did she go? Then suddenly the world shifted. For just an instant, I was somewhere else entirely. My mind reeled, and then, just as I'd begun to adjust, it was gone. As if nothing had happened. What was that? It was the same sensation I'd felt when I saw the vision of the bombs exploding. Had it been a premonition? This is bad. I need to find Alice now. But where could she be? Damn it, Alice, where are you? What about the crew quarters? Yeah, that has to be it. I set off at a dead run. Oh, she's been unlocked. No lying down on the job. Question is, can we stop her before she kills herself? The moment I entered the crew hallway, I made straight for the door to the number 2 room. Well, this should be in here. I swallowed and threw open the door. Oh! She's still alive! Alice. So you were here. As I spoke, her eyes turned toward mine, but I didn't get the feeling that they were looking at me. Her skin was pale and sickly, and one of her hands held a scalpel like I'd caught her in the middle of something.
What are you doing here?
It's okay. I'm just here to help you.
Help me? What do you mean?
Just let go of that scalpel.
No, I need it to get this bracelet off. Remember what Zero Jr. told us? The bracelet comes off when your heart stops. So I just have to...
Oh shit! Stop! Before I even finished the word, I was running. I grabbed both her arms and wrenched them back, pulling the blade away from her chest.
No! Let me go! I have to do this! I can't take it anymore. This whole thing is like a nightmare I can't wake up from. The only way I'm going to get out of here is to die!
Yeah, I can't let you do that! Knock it off! With a grunt, I tore the scalpel from her hands. It was a second before I felt a burning pain in my left hand. I'd apparently cut myself getting the damn thing away from her. Very quickly, it progressed from a dull throbbing to a hot line of pain across my palm. I clenched my teeth and squeezed my hand tight. I was so focused on my pain that I barely heard Alice collapse. She didn't respond when I shook her. Hey, are you all right? Alice, say something! There was a moment of terror before I realized she was still breathing. I didn't know why, but it seemed like she'd only passed out. Shit. What am I supposed to do now? Oh, man. Maybe the infirmary? It's got all those medical things. Buoyed by adrenaline, I hefted Alice's body and took off toward the infirmary. Whew.
All right, please pay attention, everyone. You need to hear this.
Same thing?
The atom has...
Yep, same thing. Although this
Everything's
time...
coming up Sigma, huh?
Huh?
What a lucky, lucky man you are. You two are gonna be playing against Clover. If she doesn't vote, then she'll default to ally. That means if she stays here, the two of you are gonna be sitting pretty. Especially you, Sigma. After all, you've got 6 BP right now.
I'm not gonna choose betray because I'm not an asshole like you. Are you saying I'm gonna choose betray?
If you do, you'll get what you need to escape.
Eat a dick. You bastard. There's no way I'd do that.
Is that so?
Yes, it is so. For one, I'm not the only one making this decision. Luna's my partner, and she'll be in the AB room with me. Do you really think she'd just stand by and let me do something like that? Back me up here, Luna.
Well, actually I was planning to let you make the decision.
See? Told you. You can lie to us if you want, but you can't lie to yourself.
Again, and I repeat myself, eat a dick! Shut up! What?
If I might make a suggestion, what if Sigma and Luna both remained here? Should all three of you abstain, then you would all be guaranteed to ally, correct?
Not really, we'd be penalized. Nope, doesn't work like that.
Why not?
Here, take a look at this. I pulled the scrap of paper we'd found out of my pocket.
Huh? What's this?
We found it when we went to the archives.
There wasn't anything like this in the pantry.
Nothing in the garden either.
Guess they only put one in the archives. Whatever. I'll just read it for you. Here are some more AB game rules for you. Not voting is not an option. If both parties refuse to vote, then everybody gets penalized. In other words, 1% of every color group of 3 has to vote. Get it? The whole team can't abstain.
That means either Dio or Tenmyoji's going to have to vote then. And they're playing against Alice. Oh. I guess playing against is a little generous.
Yeah, more than likely, with Dio, he's going to betray her. So, Alice is guaranteed to vote ally, which means that if Dio picks betray...
Knock it off. You trying to get back at me for what I said earlier? No way am I gonna choose betray.
Bullshit.
You do know our BP's at 1, right?
Yeah, but you really have no issue killing somebody.
What do you think would happen to her if I did that?
What you're planning on doing?
Anyone whose BP drops to 0 gets penalized, just like when you break the rules.
I wouldn't put it past you.
What?
Cool it, boys. Don't worry. I'm gonna be in that room too. I'd planned to stay here with Quark, just to make sure he was safe. But it doesn't look like I'm gonna have that luxury. I can't trust Dio to make a decision for all 3 of us.
Even me too, bro.
That means we're gonna be sharing a room, bucko. I've got my eye on you. Happy now, Sigma?
Yeah, thanks. That's a relief.
Exactly.
Oh man, everybody's against me.
Well, to be fair, we all have pretty damn good reason to be against you.
Whatever shall I do?
Kill yourself?
Can't be too careful. I wouldn't want to see Alice killed by an unfortunate accident.
What do you mean, accident?
Oh, Tenmyoji, before we went into the CDs, you told Alice there was something you wanted to tell her. What was it?
Huh? Oh, that, well, I mean, look, it wasn't important. Just forget about it.
5 minutes remain until Ambidex game polling closes.
Time's running out, people.
Yep.
Clover and I will stay here and keep an eye on Alice and Quark. Everyone else needs to go.
What?
You're staying too?
Yeah. Something does happen. Clover might need a hand.
Oh. Aren't you a solo? You're playing against Kay and Quark. But with Quark out, that means Kay would get to decide this whole round.
Are you saying that you trust me?
Yes.
Even though I have 6 BP?
Yes.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. Are you nuts? What happens when he gets 9 BP?
I'm not worried. Kay won't betray me.
How can you know that?
I think Kay would never betray Quark.
I just know, I guess.
You just know? What the fuck is wrong with you?
I could ask you that same question, pal. Had something happened between Phi and Kay while they were out exploring?
I understand. I can hardly betray trust like that, can I? I will vote for our team.
Good. We're counting on you.
I've had enough of this bullshit.
4 minutes remain until Amberdex game polling closes.
Ooh, goody!
Come on. We need to hurry.
All right, you kids. Take care of those two, okay?
Of course.
We promise.
With that, we were off. I gave one last quick nod to find Clover before heading back for the warehouse at a dead run. Whee! Oh, that was short. Got my trusty notebook at my side whenever I need it. Everybody ready? I'm going to open my AB gate. Although I guess that doesn't really matter. Dio already opened one earlier.
Then only you and I remain.
Right.
Okay. Let's go. Two more AB gates slid open. We all shared one last look at each other before ducking into our respective rooms. All right.
2 minutes remain until Amberdex game polling closes.
What are you going to do?
Ally, obviously.
I mean, how are you going to vote?
No question. If Clover isn't voting, then she's defaulting to Ally. Betraying someone who isn't even playing hardly seems fair.
Of course, I think so too. I'm just glad to hear you say it.
Aww. Luna's face broke into a warm, happy smile. Not to be sappy, but it was like a ray of sunshine on a cloudy day. I grinned back at her before I knew what I was doing. For a minute, the nonary game didn't seem so scary. Then she spoke.
Sigma, what's wrong with your hand?
Oh yeah, I fucked it up! Huh?
There's something white on it.
Hmm? There's... what? What the hell? What? The hell is this? For the first time since I found Alice in the crew quarters, I looked down at my hand. Across the palm was some sort of strange white liquid. For a moment, I thought I'd somehow touched some white paint or something similar. But the truth was far stranger. Wait, is that my blood? The liquid was coming from my hand. Wait, what? Why is my blood white? It was coming from the cut I'd given myself when I grabbed the scalpel away from Alice. But why? Where was the blood? I felt a very odd sort of fear begin to wrap its hand around my throat. Hold on. Is it possible that... Quickly, I held my palm against my chest. I shouldn't have let Luna see that.
Are you alright?
Yeah. It's nothing. I went to the pantry while I was looking for Alice. There was some milk, and I spilled it. It sounded even stupider as I said it.
Really?
Yeah.
But...
Shut up! It's fine, alright. I'm fine. Leave me alone! I regretted the words the moment they were out of my mouth, but something was wrong. Very wrong, and my head was spinning.
Sigma...
Oh man. I'm so sorry. Just don't worry about it, okay?
30 seconds remain until polling closes.
One of those... Is it possible that I'm one of those robots? There was no time left. I had to vote. Turned and faced the machine. Took a few deep breaths, but the chaos in my mind refused to calm itself. Down. Just calm down. You need to think about the AB game right now. Just forget about your hand. Was I kidding? There was no way I could forget about something like that.
10 seconds remain until Ambidex game polling closes.
What the fuck?
9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
The fuck am I? Is it possible I'm one of those robots and that's just like some sort of white filament that goes in between...
of the Ambidex game has been completed.
In between the robot body and the skin?
Results will be displayed in the warehouse. Thank you for your participation.
But a robot, I don't see... No, that's not... Ugh.
Ambidex gates now opening.
Ugh. Fucking hell. My brain can't process this. Luna and I stepped out of the AB room. I could see the others filing out of their rooms as we did.
So you chose Ally after all?
Yeah. To be honest, the AB game was the last thing on my mind. As chaotic as my thoughts were, they all centered on one thing. The mysterious white liquid.
Do you want to go see the results?
Sure. Luna nodded and walked off toward the projection, but I couldn't move. I glanced around to make sure no one was watching and opened my hand. The liquid didn't seem to have clotted or run out, since it was still oozing thickly out of the slit in my hand. What the hell is this? Couldn't be blood, could it? No. It was impossible. No matter how many white blood cells clumped together, you'd never get anything that looked like it. Like that. I'd never seen my blood do this before. In 22 years of my life, I'd seen my body bleed many times. Scraped knees as a kid, accidental nicks with a knife as an adult. But every single time I'd bled red, like any other human being. So why was it this time was white? What the hell is happening to me?
Hey, Sigma, what are you doing? Get the hell over here. They're gonna show the results.
Yeah. Right. On my way. Did my best to compose myself and headed over to join the others.
Results from round 2 of the Ambidex game will now be displayed. Please direct your attention to the results screen.
Okay. Alright. Alright. A fucking good round! Oh my god, allies across the board. I'm just gonna say it right now, that feels so good to look at.
Points have been assigned or subtracted accordingly.
Oh.
Please check your bracelet to see your updated bracelet points.
Allies across the board.
This is incredible. Look, everyone voted Ally. You did just like you promised, Kay.
How could I choose Betray after what Phi said to me?
Tenmyoji and Dio voted Ally too.
Of course. If we hadn't, Alice would have died.
Yeah, well, that's about it, I guess.
We should thank the both of you as well. I'm happy to see you also chose Ally.
Oh, I didn't have anything to do with it. That was all Sigma.
Then thank you very much, Sigma. Sigma? Sigma, are you alright?
Come on, what's wrong? Just say something.
Huh? Oh, yeah, looks like we all allied. That's great.
Sigma, what the hell's wrong with you?
Yeah, you've been acting a little out of it ever since we came out of the AB rooms. What happened? You make it past at Luna and get shot down?
What? No, nothing like that.
Hey man, it was a joke. You remember what that is? A joke? You're in pretty bad shape, huh?
Before Dio could continue, the heavy metal rumble of doors shutting echoed throughout the warehouse.
The Ambidex gates have closed. Round 3 of the Ambidex game will be the Star Round. Star keys are required to open the gates. There is no set limit on usage of the Star keys. The Ambidex gates can be opened as many times as the players wish to open them.
We can open the gates as many times as we want to? Then, that means...
We can play the AB game as many times as we like. Right?
Hey, Zero Jr. said something about this, didn't he?
As soon as the gates close, your colors get all shuffled up automatically.
Naturally!
The pair and solo assignments hop around a bit too.
Yeah, right. Sorry to be a pain, but could you all show me your bracelets? I want to see what all your colors and assignments are.
Everyone nodded and held their arms out toward him. I stared at them, terrified to follow suit, but certain that refusing would only draw more suspicion. So I held my arm out, hand tightened into a white-knuckled fist to hide the cut. When their eyes landed on my hand, my heart skipped a beat. Wait, was mine a red pear?
Huh. So Dio and Kay are a yellow pair. Luna and I are both pairs, but our colors are different.
Right. You're a cyan, and I'm magenta.
That makes Sigma the only solo, huh?
Oh.
A red solo. So what are the 4 we left in the infirmary?
Luna and I are pairs, so 2 of them are our partners.
That means the other 2 are solos. Although, I guess we don't know what colors they are.
They're probably green and blue.
Why's that?
Didn't you see them? There are a bunch of white doors in the Floor B warehouse. They have to be the next set of chromatic doors.
Ah, yes. Fi and I saw them as well. On our way back from the garden with the unconscious Quark. And there they were.
Naturally!
Each one had a box just like the doors on floor A. Given that, I don't see how there can be any question. Those white doors are our next set of chromatic doors.
I think that our bracelet combinations will have to add up to white in order to open the secondary doors.
And naturally, there's only one possible combination.
The pairs are cyan, magenta, and yellow. You see?
Yeah. If we need to make white, then the other 3 colors would have to be red, green, and blue.
Right.
Good. Now that we've got that figured out, I'm heading back to the infirmary for a bit. I want to check up on Quark and Alice.
I shall accompany you then.
Might as well go with you, I guess. No real reason to hang out here.
Well, what will you 2 do?
I need to talk to Sigma about something.
Oh boy. About what?
Something?
Her usual pleasant expression had been replaced with something much more sullen. She must have noticed that there was something wrong with me. That was what she wanted to talk about. I was sure of it. Okay, fine. Managed to make my voice sound almost relaxed.
Whoa, hold on. A private talk? What are you guys plotting?
We're not plotting anything. I promise. It's nothing.
Fine, whatever. See if I care.
Asshole. Dio tossed his head with a mixture of arrogance and feigned disinterest and marched out the yellow door. Tenmyoji and Kay quickly followed. In only moments, all 3 had disappeared. Oh boy. So, what was it that you wanted to talk about? I was almost certain I knew, but there was always hope. Did my best to act as if I was genuinely confused.
Oh, I don't really like this room. Could we go somewhere else?
Okay?
Good. I found somewhere nice when I was looking for Alice earlier.
As strange as her request was, I had no reason to object. I kept my mouth shut and followed Luna as she headed off. Okay. Oh.
You know this
garden?
place?
Yes. Well, sort of. I came here once when I was looking for Alice.
Oh, I see.
So, what brings you here?
Isn't this nice? This is the only place in the whole facility with anything green.
Yeah, the burst of color is actually very welcoming.
I feel kind of silly saying it, but it makes me think of the great outdoors.
It certainly has a good simulation of it.
I think it's the perfect place for a serious conversation.
You make a fair point.
Being surrounded by nature makes me feel happy. Oh, there's a bench over there. Would you like to sit down with me?
Sure. She sat down softly and gently, and I lowered myself down next to her. Oh, so, what did you want to talk to me about? Instead of answering, Luna lifted the tiny birdcage pendant she wore into the palm of her hand. She was silent for a moment and began to talk.
Can I tell you something? This is actually a music box.
Really?
Yes.
Oh shit, even Sigma said really. She twisted the key on the bottom and it made an almost imperceptible winding noise. When she released it, soft, clear notes drifted out. It's a nice song. Why'd you bring that up, though?
Because I wanted you to know, I guess. I wanted you to know more about me. Maybe it's because I'm so shy, but I don't really have any friends. Or even any acquaintances, really. So I've sort of always been alone. It was really hard. I felt so lonely a lot of the time. And it hurt. It felt like I was just kind of going to collapse from the inside out. That was when I got this music box. Someone very important gave it to me.
Oh.
They didn't say anything, but I felt like there was an unspoken message behind it. Luna, happiness is closer than you think.
Oh.
Do you know Maeterlinck's The Bluebird?
The name rings a bell. Yeah. Well, I know the gist of it. I think it starts on Christmas Eve. This brother and sister named Teetle and Meetle get asked to find a blue bird by this old woman, and they travel to the dream world. Or something. Anyway, supposedly if you can catch this bird, then you can make a wish come true. So they visit all these different places, but they can't find it. Eventually, they give up and go home. When they wake up, the bird is in a bird cage in their hut.
That's right. It's a well-known story, and it teaches a simple lesson.
Yeah, like you said, happiness is closer than you think.
Right. It got me thinking. Maybe the person who gave me this music box was trying to tell me just that. I don't know if that's true. Maybe all of this is just in my head, but I really felt like that was what they'd meant. It was so kind. I kept it with me all the time, like a kind of good luck charm. But one day I realized something. There was another meaning to the bluebird.
Hmm?
In Maeterlinck's original story, it doesn't end with them waking up.
There's more?
Yes. When Til and Mittel try to feed the bird, it leaves the cage and flies away. And then the story ends.
Whoa. What about the moral then?
It changes. Now the message is that just when you think you found happiness, you lose it again. I thought about that for a while, but in the end, it didn't change how I felt. I don't know what they intended it to mean when they gave it to me, but I decided how I was going to look at it. It means that happiness is something you should always be looking for, and it's only when you're pursuing happiness that you're truly happy.
Oh, it stopped.
You know, Sigma, I think you might be Tiltil.
What? What?
You know, the boy who the old lady asked to find the bluebird on Christmas Eve.
What are you trying to say?
Can I ask you something?
Sure.
Where did you find Alice?
What does that have to do with anything?
Just answer me. Where did you find Alice?
Room 2, in the crew quarters.
Where were you before that?
I was in the lounge. That was after we'd split up to go look for Alice. The first place I went was the lounge.
So you went from the lounge to the crew quarters, where you found Alice, and then you rushed her to the infirmary, right?
Yeah.
Okay, tell me this then. How do you know about the garden? Just now you said you'd come here when you were looking for Alice, didn't you? That doesn't make any sense. There wouldn't have been any time for you to visit the garden while you were looking for Alice. So tell me, Sigma, how do you know about this place?
Well, I didn't know what to say. I couldn't even explain it to myself. Why had I told her I knew about the garden? Why had I told her I'd been there before?
Sigma, are you a robot? Have you always been here?
Oh. Wait a minute. If I'm a robot, is it even possible for my memory to jump over to different timelines? I mean... what?
See, it would make so much sense if you were. That would explain why you knew about the garden and it would explain that cut on your left hand.
How would she know that, though? Damn. So you did see it, huh?
Yes. I've been told that robots these days have what's called artificial biological tissue, or ABT, on top of a metal skeleton.
Shit, maybe I am a robot!
It makes them look almost exactly like a human. And ABT uses this white liquid instead of blood.
For some reason, when Luna had called me a robot, it hadn't really fazed me. Maybe because it was just so out there. It didn't sound like a real possibility. It sounded more like a theory you'd get from someone in a nut house. Still. My hand was still oozing white liquid. Was I really a robot? No! That was impossible! I needed to stop doing that. Questioning myself so much was giving me heart palpitations. Luna, aren't you a little scared?
Scared? Why would I be scared?
Well, let's say I am a robot. That means there's a pretty good chance Zero is pulling my strings. That would make me your enemy.
Oh, I guess so. Well, even if you were, I wouldn't be scared.
Why not?
Maybe because you're a robot.
Huh?
Have you ever heard of the 3 laws of robotics?
Oh, hold on, I actually know this. What are the rules of robotics? I think it's the first rule. The robots cannot harm humans. Rule number, 2. Robots cannot go beyond their, God damn it, I know the 3 laws of robotics. I had a robotics course, actually, like in high school when we had robotics, and I just got interested in robotics, but I remember there were 3, God. Damn it. I'm trying my best to remember before I progress. but I know one of the 3 laws is that robots cannot harm humans.
They were a set of rules created by the science fiction author Isaac Asimov that he used in several of his stories.
Rule number 1. A robot may not injure a human being or, through an action, allow a human being to come to harm. That's what it was. Rule number 2. A robot must obey any orders given to it by human beings, except when such orders would conflict with the first law. Rule number 3. A robot must protect its own existence as long as such protection does not conflict with the first or second laws. Oh, yeah, I've heard those before. That's just an ideal, though. You could work toward that, but I don't think you could ever actually achieve it. I mean, depending on how you program them, robots could do pretty much whatever they wanted to.
Yes, you're right. But I believe in them. In you. However you're programmed, I don't think you'd break any of the 3 laws. A robot without the 3 laws is just a bunch of metal and plastic. That's not you. You have a heart. You're a good person. It's in your eyes. Well, I guess I'm just kind of assuming you're a robot. There's still a chance you're not. We should run some tests.
Tests?
Yes.
How? Oh, the scanner thingy!
Well, the atom should be able to tell us.
Oh, yeah! That thing in the infirmary! I heard the crunch of dried leaves behind us. But when I turned around, there was nothing. Who is it?
Is someone there?
Just me. Sorry, but can you guys come over here? I need you to see something.
Luna and I looked at one another, shrugged, and stepped into the bushes.
Welcome.
What? How long have you been here?
I just got here a little while ago.
Did you hear what we were saying?
No. Were you talking about something you didn't want me to know about? Whatever. Just have a look at this.
I followed the line of her finger. Shit! This is...
An antimatter bomb.
Exactly.
Got the password for it.
I'm pretty sure someone didn't move it here from the crew quarters. In fact, I'm pretty sure it's an entirely different bomb. Look at the number on the side.
It says 1.
And the one in the crew quarters said 3, right? Then that must mean...
Shit. Then there's no question, huh?
I've got more good news. Just think about the numbers for a moment.
You're saying there's a 2 bomb out there somewhere?
I can't be sure, but it does seem pretty likely.
Damn it. That means we're dealing with a combined explosive power equal to 3 tons of TNT.
Yeah.
Who planted them?
Was it you guys? I mean, you've been in here quite a while.
Hey, don't give me that. You're way more suspicious than we are. What were you doing in the bushes anyway?
Well, I was taking a walk.
Taking a walk? You really think I'm gonna buy that?
Fine. You got me. I heard you two were off talking in secret, so I got curious and went back to the Floor A warehouse. Of course, you weren't there. That seemed pretty suspicious to me, so I headed here. And just as I'd suspected, there you were, talking on the bench. I snuck up from behind so you wouldn't notice me. Then, just as I was getting close enough to hear, I found the bomb. So, believe me now?
So, who planted the bomb?
Honestly, it could have been any one of us. Anybody could have come here while we were all looking for Alice.
We need to tell everyone about this then.
Yeah, you're right. Let's head back to the infirmary. Everyone else was already there when we arrived. Clover and Tenmyoji. Hey and Dio. And of course, Alice and Quark. Both seemed to be sleeping peacefully. You'd never think to look at them that they'd been completely insane not so long ago. Alright, everybody, listen up. I told them how we'd found the #1 bomb in the garden. And how, judging by the numbering on the 2 bombs we'd found so far, there was probably a #2 bomb out there somewhere too.
Oh, this is bad. What are we going to do?
Well, I think Alice mentioned something.
There should be an emergency deactivation password. If you enter that password, the device should, well, deactivate. You see it right here. There's a port. If we can find the password input device, we just connect it here. Then we can enter the password.
So if we have the password, we can deactivate them?
Oh, whoa, hold on a second. That's great and all, but we need that password input device she was talking about. Without that, we're still boned even if we did have a password.
Yeah. That's why I want all of you to let me search you.
I beg your pardon?
You heard me. Chances are whoever planted those bombs is in this room.
Oh boy.
There's also a good chance they've also got the device we need to deactivate the bombs.
I'm just gonna check. Okay.
So you're planning to search us for it?
Exactly.
But
No buts. If you refuse, then I'll assume it's because you've got it and you planted the bombs. Unless you want that, I suggest you cooperate. Clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Good. Now who's going to be first? Huh?
Wait. You only need to search one person.
What? Why?
Because I figured out who did it. Achievement unlock. Who set up us the bomb? Part 1. Another achievement, although the scene I've already seen.
Okay. I'll give you one, since I'm such a swell guy. The password for bomb #2 is...
Ooh! Hello! Hold the fucking phone! Bomb? 2. Alright, Dio, lay it on me.
EQD DYR NTK.
EQD DYR NTK. 1. I have bomb 1, bomb 2. Oh boy, do I have all the bombs? I got 5 passwords staring at me right in the face right now. Okay. I have to hope that this is all of them.
Bomb #2?
but we haven't found that one yet.
Oh? Oh. Well, my mistake. Must have slipped my mind. Well, there's nothing you could do anyway. You don't have the input device. Really, it'll be much easier if you all just give up.
Where's the input device?
Oh gosh, I wonder.
Where did you put the #2 bomb?
Shoot, you know, I just can't remember.
You son of a bitch.
Anyway, I think it's time for me to be moving on.
Moving on.
To where?
What, I have to explain everything? To the next world, of course.
No, wait! I threw myself toward Dio and wrapped my hand around his wrist, slamming it to the floor. He struggled, but I put all my weight on it and kept his arm pinned.
Shit! Let go of me, goddammit!
Hell no!
Get off of me! Let me go!
He continued to struggle, but I wasn't going to let him go. I shifted my weight to free one of my hands and started to trying to pry his open.
Hey! Hey! I'm not fucking around, alright? Let go of my goddamn arm!
By then, the others had run over and piled onto Dio along with me. Wait a minute, is this the same thing again? Yep! Fuck you and your pill spree! How much time do we have left?
About 20 minutes or so, I think.
And how much time until the white doors open?
Same.
So, what do we do?
We put in those passwords and stop the bombs.
We searched Dio, but he doesn't have anything that might be the input device.
Well, only one thing to do then.
And that is?
We split up and find it. Unless any of you have any other suggestion. A dismal silence filled the room. Even though no one spoke, I could see despair on every face.
Alright, no point sitting around. Until those things actually go off, we've still got a chance. Sigma, you come with me. We're going to have to go look at the number 3 bomb. See if the timer really has started or not. All the rest of you, listen up. I want you to take Alice, Quark, and Dio to the Floor B warehouse.
What?
Why there?
Just listen. Worst case scenario. We'll open the white doors and go through them to wherever they go. Maybe we'll get lucky.
Understood. We will take them to the Floor B warehouse. Once we've done so, we will begin to search for the input device in the number 2 bomb.
Good. Thanks. Okay, we don't have much time left. Now get moving. Sigma, you're with me.
I turned without waiting and headed for the door. Okie dokie! Before I could blink, she was gone. I gave everyone else in the infirmary a quick thumbs up and a shaky smile, then hurried after her. Okay. No, that's the bomb 2 password. I think this is the bomb 1 password, I believe, if memory serves. Need bomb 3.
The light's flashing. I guess the countdown has started. So, what are we going to do? Without a way to enter the passwords, we're screwed. Right. We'll just have to split up and look for it. I'll look around here, you go check somewhere else. If we get to T-minus 5 minutes, then we'll meet back in the Floor B warehouse. Got it?
I wasn't sure what to say. If we hadn't found it by then, was there really any point in meeting up again?
What's with that look? Don't worry. We'll figure it out, I promise. You know what they say. Swimsuits never quit.
What? No, that's not a thing! And it doesn't make any sense! Besides, why the hell are you cracking jokes right now?
I'm just, trying to show you that life is still worth living.
That's an interesting pose.
After all, if you quit now, there goes any possibility of you ever seeing me in a swimsuit.
Nothing against you, but I never really cared. Oh, I see. Well, I admit I am a bit curious.
Alright. Looks like we're on the same page. Hey, get moving. We don't have time to stand around.
Fine. Be careful, alright? I checked the time on my bracelet, so I headed out of the crew quarters into the hallway. It wasn't good news. Damn. Only 15 minutes. I need to hurry. I broke into a run. Before long, I found myself in front of the infirmary. All too often, what you're looking for is right in front of you. We'd spent a lot of time in the infirmary, so it seemed kind of fitting somehow that it might have been there all along. Or maybe Dio had dropped it there recently. There was no way to know. In any event, I had to start looking somewhere. Oh, Luna. You're still here?
Yes. The others are taking the people who are asleep to the white doors. I chose to stay here. I thought you might come back.
Why?
Because the atom is here. I thought you might want to use it. Isn't that why you're here?
What? I mean, yeah, I want to know what's going on with me. It's driving me nuts. Hell, I feel sick. But this isn't the time for that. Being a robot isn't going to mean a lot if I die anyway.
Oh, why did you come here then?
Isn't that obvious? I'm trying to find that input thing so we can turn off the bombs.
Really?
Yes! Why would I lie?
I see. seem to have made a mistake. I knew you couldn't use the atom without me, so I stayed behind because I thought I might be able to help. I guess I shouldn't have done that. I'm sorry. Goodbye.
What? He turned and headed toward the exit. Wait. I couldn't just let her leave like that. Sighed. How long would it take?
Not more than 5 minutes or so.
Are you sure? Only 5 minutes.
Yes.
Okay, let's do it. Analyze my body. Okay. I lay down on the table. Luna picked up the atom scanner and began to run it across me, slowly and methodically. In a few minutes, she was finished.
That's it. You can get up now.
I sat up and hopped off the table. The screen was already starting to show my results. So, what does it say? My eyes were glued to her face, looking for any sign of what the answer might be. She studied the readout for several long seconds before replying.
Well, it says you're not a robot. You're human.
Then why am I bleeding? Why am I bleeding white stuff? I let out a breath I hadn't realized I'd been holding. My relief didn't last long.
But your body isn't entirely human.
Oh. What?
You're part machine.
Oh! Wait. What are you saying? Am I a cyborg?
Look here. The structure of the bones in your arms isn't anything close to human.
Oh. I got robotic arms?
They're made out of a titanium alloy. On top of that skeleton is artificial biological tissue. It's also called ABT.
Do I have automail?
Your arms are cybernetic.
What? What does that mean?
Cybernetic? It means a mechanical system that interfaces with a biological one. You see all these root-like things around the titanium bones? Those are artificial nerves. They're probably connected to your own nerves, which is how you can move your arms. I imagine they allow you to feel things through your arms too.
What? No, this is ridiculous. I think replacing my arms with robot ones is something I remember. And I know they weren't always like this. When I was a kid, I broke my arm and they took an x-ray of it. The doctor told me I had really thick bones and that I must have done something pretty insane to break them. When the hell did this happen? Why did somebody replace my arms? Wait. Okay, let's say you're right, and my arms are cybernetic. Wouldn't that mean I don't have to worry about the bracelet going off?
No, unfortunately you probably do still have to worry about that.
Why?
The cybernetic arms are made to function just like real arms, which means they interface with the rest of your body, which means that anything injected into them is spread to the rest of your body.
How do you know that?
I just do.
That's not an answer!
Yes, you're right, but not everything has an answer. There are some things you just can't explain. Don't you know how that feels? How did you know about the garden? How did you know that Dio planted the bombs?
That's,
I'm sorry, Sigma. I wish we could talk some more, but our time is up.
Time? I pressed the buttons on my bracelet and felt my stomach drop. 1 minute. We've only got a minute left?
Sigma, there's one last thing. I was given very specific instructions.
I shuddered. Not because I was scared of what was about to happen. Because I was scared of Luna. It was calm. Unnaturally so. A machine with a human face. We were about to die. How could she be so calm?
Please pay attention. This is very important. You must be sure to remember it.
Remember? I was about to die. How was I supposed to remember anything?
Should you encounter a two-headed lion devouring the sun, remember GTF BM L016.
ATF. E. L.
With this key, the first gate shall be open to you. There you go. I hope we can meet again someday. I'll be waiting. I'll be waiting.
Or she could answer. The world exploded into noise and light. I disappeared along. I came to. I was floating in a field of nothingness. Sigma End. Achievement unlocked. Arms race. That's the Sigma End? Holy fuck! Oh shit, this one opened up! 5 minutes of life. This one finally opened up after all this time? Okay, my mind just completely exploded. Well, obviously I'm gonna move over here now, but... Holy shit! Seems like... Wait a minute. She was given very specific instructions. Damn. I'm honestly at a loss for words here. Well, if I can be perfectly honest, Sigma may have been scared of Luna, but I didn't. It feels like I've gotten to the point where I've almost got everything I need. But I think there's one more password that I need. But if I've got the two-headed lion, that must be the user ID. Which means, if I put the user ID in first, then all I gotta do is I gotta put in the password next. Can Luna jump too, I wonder? But then again, that kind of... She was given specific instruction. I've also got robotic arms. But I have no memory of getting them. So... Is it entirely possible that I just got cybernetic arms after I was kidnapped? that a possibility, I wonder? That just got me 2 passwords. I don't even know how to mentally process a lot of this. Okay. I need to go. Thank you guys so much for watching. My head hurts, and I'm not entirely sure what else to make of this. I feel like I'm on the cusp of figuring this out, but I'm just not sure there yet. I think I do want to go here next. Not, we'll continue where we left off here. But I think to be safe, we're going to go here. See if there's anything else we can get out of this. Possibly like more information. Then finally, we'll move on to this. Because if I can be perfectly honest, I'm so sick and tired of betraying. I just really don't like it. I really don't want to keep, I don't want to do any more betrayals. It just makes me feel so sick to my stomach. But anyway, that's where I'm ending it. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you all in the next video. Oh.